Hey everybody, Kimberly here, and I am really excited to run through a turn or two of Cabriole with you. This is a furniture making game from 18th century London and is a 2 to 4 player game. I've got the 2-player game set up here, and it asks players to do some of my favorite mechanics. There's worker placement, there's open drafting, there's set collection, and there's a really cool action cue. So I just really want to jump into this. A game usually takes about an hour to an hour and a half, depending on the player count. And I will point out some of the differences with the 2-player versus the 3 and the 4-player in this run through. So I've got 2 players set up here. I've got me over here playing yellow. My husband Lewis is over here playing green. And we do start with some resources and some starting skills. So every player is going to receive one of these scoring summary cards because randomized on the back is your starter. This is going to be what you begin with. So there are going to be 4 different trades. There's the carver, joiner, turner, and upholder. And I'm going to begin with the turner and the upholder as an apprentice. There are 3 different stages of training. There's apprentice, journeyman, and master. That means I also begin with $17. So this card is going to go over here in front of me. Lewis began with an upholder and a joiner as an apprentice and therefore had $18, which is $1 more because if you look out here, your joiner to your trainer cost is $1 more. That's where that dollar difference comes in. So these are our player boards where we have all the training possibilities. We've got 4 cubes. Which means that once I start training a carver, I put my cube out, but if I move it down because I'm training them again, that's going to be how I keep track of their skill level. I also have the start player and the off limits button. More about that in a little bit. Over here is going to be all the different resources and furniture and action cards that we will be essentially vying for. You've got the resources down here, and I simply put the disc on the space to remind you when you look in the pile that that's what the discs stand for. So silk is pink, mahogany is black, walnut is brown. There is a light brown, which is oak, as a resource, but in a 2-player game, players don't play with oak as a resource. And you'll even see here that the player spaces where you put your action markers don't even allow for a 2-player game to use this space, nor are the cards out here reflected in oak in any way. This is where you get to train all of your workers. And there's a special place called Extra Projects. More on that in a minute. We have 6 rounds where we will be placing out our 5 workers. Then we will be activating those spaces, action cue style. And then we will have our production phase at the end where players get to fulfill orders of tables, chairs, and chests. So I'm going to just jump into it. I want to take my worker and I want to place them in the number 1 space of any of these spaces. And that means I get priority in picking cards, training, or the amount of resources for the cost of money that I want. And if I take a space, nobody else can have that particular space. And so priority is really important here. So this is kind of like our lining up. This is our action cue space. So I'm looking out here thinking, this row looks pretty good. I could train my carver, or I could hire them, because I don't think I have a carver just yet. Same thing with the upholder up here. There's some free wood. If I just take 2 walnut, that'd be a really great card without having to go here to pay $5 for it. I could come here and get this chair, but maybe I could get the chair for the walnut and get the walnut because I have the silk, which is this S right here. So maybe that's what I want to do. If I come here to this space, which is the number 1 space, there are 3 possible openings and I got first pick. I really, really want to get things that match what I actually have resources for. And I don't want to be in competition necessarily with Lewis right now with this mahogany because he might be wanting to go and get that chair. Who knows? Now it's up to him. Play is going to pass. He's going to play out his worker. And he's looking out here going, I've got 1 mahogany. What can I do with 1 mahogany? Looks like he can do a mahogany and a walnut, or he can go big. And look at this chest up there. If he gets another mahogany and a walnut, he can turn that in. Oh boy, but he needs a journeyman carver and a journeyman turner, which is exactly the opposite of what he starts with. So let's have him look at a joiner upholder and he's got not that many options. He's got a joiner upholder here, but it's not the resources that he's looking for, so he might have to go and train. Let's send him up here to train, because I think he might assume I'm going to come and get the carver. Now, this is all about what you think your opponent's going to do if they have priority and putting yourself in a position to get exactly what you want. So perhaps he's going to go there, and then I'm out here going, I have the silk. I think I'm going to get the walnut, but if I want the walnut, I also need to get the chair that I'm getting the walnut for. And I need a turner and an upholder to do it, which is exactly what I have. So I'm just going to line up there. So he sees me do that and he thinks, I need cards. I need cards. So he is going to go up here to the only space for a 2-player game in the extra projects. And this extra projects allows you, after everyone has drafted cards from this space, to then take up to 2 cards that are remaining. You kind of get the last picks, but you get cards. And in the beginning of the game, all cards are good cards. Like your resources, there's training, and then there's furniture. So it's not a bad move to make, and I kind of regret not going there. The extra projects is a really, really great place to be. So he's now thinking, where do I go? Oh, he's thinking, me. It's me. Ha, he just went 2, 2. I have start player. It's going to be me. Now, I've got this. I went there to get this. Maybe I want to go and get something else. Maybe I want to go to another row and grab something good. Something really good. This table looks pretty enticing. Now I do have a turner and apprentice. Let's go here and just say there's something in that row that I know I want. Now here's the thing about the off limits. When you have just one remaining row that has not been populated, you have to cover it up and you say this row is off limits for the rest of this round. Players were prioritizing other rows, and you can see here in a 3 and 4 player game you actually have 4, and you'll have a varying amount of cards based on the number of players, but you'll have another space to go to in that bigger player game, but for 2 players you've got fewer rows. So that goes on there right away, and now it's Lewis. He's going to look at this thinking, I'm training, I'm grabbing a bunch of extra cards. Maybe he says, I want to just go and get some resources. It looks like walnut is a really big resource. Walnut, 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 walnut. It's like everywhere. So getting some walnut would be really, really good right now. Okay, he's done. Comes back to me, and I'm thinking I need to train if I want to start working on any other kinds of cards for customer requests. So perhaps I come here, because if I don't go here, there's only 2 spaces for a 2-player game. He might actually double train and then lock me out of being able to do that this particular turn. And that just is going to put me behind. Back to him. Does he have enough money to keep buying resources? He's already training. He's buying walnut. Can he buy any of these things? Is he going to be able to have enough money, and or can he fulfill any requests? So if he takes a card from this row, or maybe from that row that's the walnut mahogany, maybe he wants to grab some more mahogany. Those are both carvers. He needs really high things to go there. So he needs a turner, but that's the card that I think I was looking for. A joiner and a turner. He can do the chest and get a whole bunch of walnut. Let's have him go here. He might be able to take the money, and then I'm going to go first taking one of those cards, but then he can still come back by and grab a whole bunch of stuff. And so it comes back to me. I'm picking up a bunch of cards. He's going to get a bunch of cards. I need to go and get resources. While I'm planning on getting this, I need to actually get something else. I'm going to go to mahogany. Yeah. I have a turner at apprentice level. Maybe I'll be able to nab that table. And back to him. What is he going to do with his final worker? I think he's okay for getting cards. He's also got the extra projects. Don't forget about that. Maybe he wants to nab a silk. Let's have him go and nab a silk. He could come here to this space to come and get mahogany. He gets second pick, but it's still available. But I think he's doing okay. Maybe, right? I think he's doing okay. So now that all of our player pawns are out, we have done all of our queuing up, we are now going to walk through each space. In this particular turn order, we're going to start here with the cards, and then we're going to go down the board. We will execute all of our action pawns, and we will do that starting from the top. So yellow is going to get first. That's me. I look out here and I take a card. Now I can take a card even if I can't accomplish it. I just take it and put it in my player area. Players are going to put their cards essentially on the left side when they're incomplete, on the right side when they're complete, so they can move their cards over and keep their cards straight, because you just keep your cards face up. Everything is open information in this game. I talked a whole bunch about wanting to get this table. I think that's a really strong move, because I'm saving my silk to get this chair. All right, I get a table, I'm going to put it on my side, and that's it. It's super easy. So I'm just going to take my little pawn, I'm going to put it back there. Now we look at Lewis. What does he want? He can come and get, can he afford, I think he can afford to get 9 of these. He'll have a turner and a joiner after he trains, and he can accomplish the chest before the end of the round, which is probably going to be really good. So let's have him do that, because he needs to get some cash for next turn. So let's have him take this. He's going to take that chest, put that in his player area, and he's going to put his pawn back here. Then we go to the next one. This is going to be me. And you better believe, I wish I could do the carver, but I really need to get the walnut. I banked on getting this card, and this card just simply says, take 2. I put this card over here to the side, and I just take 2 walnut. I'm going to take this guy and that guy. I'm just going to put those in my player area. And now I'm going to take this table, or chair, right? So just like my table, here's my chair. It's going to need a walnut, and a silk, and it requires the turner and the upholder. And I even have right there my walnut, and my silk. So I'm going to put these guys in my kind of undone space. So I'm going to slide this down so I can put my cards, and they can kind of all fit. Okay, fantastic. Still fits, still looks okay. So I take those, I did 1 card, 2 cards, these guys come back, and now we come to the extra projects. Lewis has the choice of taking any of these remaining 4 cards for free. He gets to take up to 2. He can also purchase from the off-limits space, which is so cool because normally you can't take them. But the extra projects allows you to do that. It just costs. It costs you $2 to take 1, and if you take 2 from there, which is your turn, taking up to 2 cards, it costs $5. So does he want to buy something from up there? He's got this chest that he is probably going to build. And does he want to, he could train his upholder for $2, or he could just take a bunch of money. You know what? I think having some money this early on is pretty good. Now, if you ever don't want to use your worker you place somewhere, or you can't, you just take them back and take $2 from the bank. So there is a way to essentially get value for your placement. It's not the best, but you at least get something. So if he takes this, he's got that money, he's going to take $4, put it to the side. Let's give him a 5 and put the 1 back. That's just 1 card. He gets to have a second card now. Let's just have him train instead of the upholder, let's have him train his carver, and then when he gets his turner, he'll have an apprentice level of all of them. So now he's going to take this, he's going to say, I want to hire my carver, and he's going to put his cube right there. He's going to hire them as an apprentice, and those are his 2 picks. The power of the extra project space, just full force. You saw that right there. Then we come here, and of course we say, he needs to get that turner. Yes, he needs to get the turner trained. So he pays $3. There's 5. He'll get 2 back. And now he's got his turner hired as an apprentice, and he is on the board, people. Really, really solid move. And now for me, I need my turner and my upholder. So for me, I need to just make progress in any of them, honestly, except for turner because it would be extra costly. But let's look out at the board. It looks like I need a carver turner. I need a carver. I need a carver. I need a joiner for this one. And it would be a joiner upholder with a nice looking chair. But I have a chair and I have a table. So here's the deal. On your scoring summary card, one of the things you need to keep in mind is vignettes. At the end of the game, you will gain 10 points for a vignette which includes 3 cards, 1 chair, 1 table, and 1 chest. If you ever have 2 of those 3, it is a partial vignette. So while I'm looking at cards that could work for my skill level and for the resources I have, I am also looking for the missing one that I have at this time to keep my vignettes going. So perhaps I will just do the carver and I will pay just $2 for it. It's pretty cheap. I really appreciate the affordability of it. And then I put my cube on the carver and there I've hired them. So we both went here to go to our spaces, and now we are going to move into the resources. This is going to be gaining our resources, and you go in this order. So we'll start with walnut. Lewis is here. You can pick one of these 4 spaces. You pay $2 and get 1 walnut. You get 2 for 5, 3 for 9, or 4 for 14. He needs 3 minimum. If he paid 14, he would then only be able to get, he'd be just short of getting 2 silk for $7. But getting a bunch of walnut is not that bad. I mean, walnut is everywhere. Walnut is everywhere. Let's have him go big. Let's have him just pay for more. It's like 5 more for just 1 more. He only needs the 3. Nope, we're just going to have him pay for the 9. I'm going to have him pay $9. He gets 1 back, and he gets the 3 that he's looking for. These are just going to go straight back into the pool here after he purchases his chest, but it's a better bang for his buck. I think he's going to save his money and invest in next round. Then it comes to silk. He can now buy 2 silk for $7, which I think is a better purchase. It's a kind of moderate purchase, and he doesn't necessarily need the silk just yet, but he has the silk in case he can purchase some of these, and new cards are going to come out that might give him a chance to essentially invest in that furniture. And then lastly for me, mahogany. I need 2 mahogany minimum, and 2 mahogany is 9. 3 is everything I've got. Oh, do I do 3 and then save a mahogany for next turn? I don't know if I can do that. I don't know. I'll do the mahogany is so hard to get. That's $6 jump for just 1 more, but I think I should do it. Ooh, it's hard. It's a hard decision. So I'm going to do 15 and I get 3. So let's get these 3 and we put it down here. And now we just take these figures back. We are done with the resources and we simply are going to move on to production. And production phase is player order, purchasing the amount of items that they can, first off, based on resources, and then secondly, based on your training. Now, even though, I'm going to show you right now, I've got 2 mahogany, I've got 2 walnut, and a silk. You say, you can essentially do both of these, and then I say, no way. Check this out. So an apprentice can only accomplish 1 project per turn. A journeyman, which is a trained apprentice to the 2nd level, can accomplish 2 projects, and a master can accomplish 4 at once. So while I have an apprentice turner and I have an apprentice upholder, I do not have a journeyman for my turner that would cover 2 project needs at apprentice or journeyman. So I got the carver bonus over here, but if I paid essentially $3 more, which I didn't have, I could have bumped it up and then gotten both of them, but it would have been a pretty bold move, and I can simply wait on my table for my turner, and I can just keep my mahogany and then essentially get my chair this turn. So I am going to accomplish this right now. So again, I just put my little dots on there to show that I have put everything on. And again, I have my turner, I've got my upholder. Now here's the big decision. Players have to decide, do you want the money or the victory points? And so early on in the game, money is the way to keep going. It's essentially the way to keep purchasing resources and to fulfill customer needs and to train all of your workers. So it is a big move to just take victory points early on, but it might not be a great choice. So I'm going to take the money. I'm going to take $20, put it in my pile. I had none money. So yeah, pretty important for me to get some money. I now place this on my completed side, and I will splay my vignettes once I get one of each. So I took the money, it comes to Lewis. Lewis says, guess what? Look at this. I've got all 3 walnuts for my chest. My beautiful curio chest, right? There we go. He has a joiner and he has a turner at apprentice because he has one at everybody. And he chooses $17 or 11 victory points. He has $3, so let's just say he's definitely taking the money as well. So he puts the resources back and he gets his $17. There's his 15 and the 17. And then he's going to put this on his side, but I'm just going to turn it sideways so that there's enough space for all of us to keep our cards in the place. So this is going to be that completed one, and I'll keep his going over here. So now that we have completed all of our projects, we are going to move past the production phase to the end of the round. We're going to move this marker by 1 space, and if we're, of course, at the end, we're at 6 rounds, then we will just move into the end game. We're going to move our start player token to the next player. We're going to take the off limits button and we're going to put it back. And now we're going to place $1 on all the cards that didn't get taken. If we ever have $3 on a card, we don't put more dollars, we simply take that card away. So that card just simply wasn't getting taken. It does get flushed at a certain point, but it does end up having quite a bit of money on it, which makes it incredibly enticing to take. So that's going to be the end. We're going to now fill new cards in. So we just say, here are the new cards, and we are using Deck A. Deck A cards are going to be used for rounds 1, 2, and 3, which is right here. You're going to see that on your deck. And then Deck B will be used for rounds 4, 5, and 6. So you've got all your cards just shuffled up and you've got 2 different decks that you're using. And at this point, it is going to be Lewis. He's going to start and we are just going to jump right into it. So where does he want to go? What does he need? He has 2 silk and 1 mahogany. 2 silk and a walnut looks pretty good up there. Yeah, maybe he just really wants to get that, and he would need to go get his walnut at some point. That's not bad. Yeah, I'm going to have him go up there. I like that. Okay, so now me, I look at mine, and I am enticed by, I'm just going to put these guys out here because I already have them, and it reminds me not to count on them because I'm using them for my turner. Now, is there anything else out here that needs just 1 mahogany? And a silk is not bad, it has $1 on it. Oh, but I need a joiner. Oh, wait, I need a turner at this level and an upholder at that level. That's a journeyman. Well, gosh, I mean, I could put all my eggs in one basket by going here twice if he'll let me, upgrading my turner, and then upgrading my upholder in this space, because he might be taking the upholder in that space. I'm going to put 1 down here and just see what he does. Again, at this point, we mark off in the off-limit space is the chest, the mahogany, take $4, and that beautiful chair. So he has a chest and I have a chair and a table. I want to get a chest. So this would be my 1 chest to get, or this chest up here. And both of them require 2 mahogany, so not that easy. But it is up to him. It's his turn to go now. And he says, I really want to make sure I get that walnut. And if I have a lot of money, maybe I could get the 4 walnut for $14. He goes here, and he's not too concerned. He's not concerned at all, actually, about any of the training. This chair he wants to get is a joiner upholder at level apprentice. So I think he's not too worried about it. Because he did that, I'm going to do my plan. I mean, it's a big, bold plan, but it's not a bad plan. I'm leaving my joiner really open, but I think it's pretty cool. I'm excited. So he again is going to take advantage, and honestly, it's an easy thing to forget about, but it's also a really great way to get great cards and to get a chance to get at the off limits cards, and he's going to go there again. I mean, I just keep not doing it, but that's on me. So I'm looking here and I need to get the silk. Correct? I'm coming out here. I want to get I was going to hire the turner and I was going to take one of these things. Oh yeah, the chair. And that's what I was going for. So I've got 2 folks out there to get that. I do need the silk, so I could come to the silk or come here for the 3rd space and take the 1 silk for that particular action and leave fewer cards for him to be able to pick from. That's not bad because then I don't have to pay the cost. That's interesting. Let's do that. I'm loading it up. Now he goes, what is he doing? He needs to train? No, I don't think he wants to train. But he does see an opportunity to get $1 and train an upholder at a free cost. He's like, why aren't you going there? And I say, I probably should have gone there. I think I'm going to take all of those guys. I have the mahogany. Oh, yes, gotta go and train. Gotta train my, not my turner, but my upholder. Oh, this is a risky play. Now it's him. Where does he want to go? Maybe some resources. I think he sees that he's got the walnut for that. He has the mahogany. Maybe he wants to go. Silk is a good place. Well, he's got the chest. He needs a chair. Is he going to get this chair? I think he's going to get that chair. So he wants a table. A table's walnut, which he's getting, and then the mahogany, which is great. So maybe he wants to, instead of get silk, he might want to train to get this carver. Maybe he wants a journeyman carver so he can do the table. Let's have him go here. He's going to train ahead of time. He's thinking ahead of the game. And back to me. I've got some folks. I've got those. I need this. Do I need resources? I'm covering what I need to this round, but I'm kind of taking weird turns. I'm not necessarily doing what I want to do. Am I doing what I want to do? I've got the table. I'm going to be able to get that. Maybe I should come and grab some silk. You always need resources, and if you can grab a bunch at once, then you are prepped for next round. And now we are done with our 2nd round of placement. And we'll simply just move into the executing our phase where we go down the line right here. So that looks like Lewis. He's going to be able to take 2 of those cards, and each of those cards has $1 on it, so that is just free money for him. He wants to have the chair. He's going to take this chair and put it in his unplayed space, put the $1 over here, because again, he wants to essentially put his silks, and he needs that walnut, but he's going over here for walnut. And does he want to grab the table? No, he doesn't. I think he wants to, well, he's going to be able to grab something else. So whether he takes it now or later is entirely up to him. But he's going to do this, take $1, and he's going to train the upholder. And that means he moves down by 1 space and again, doesn't pay for it. It's like 4 free dollars and a train. Because there's a money card, but then there's those train cards, and they are really good. So these guys come back. It comes to me, and I get 3 of these. Okay, so first thing, definitely want the silk, right? I want to get that silk. I'm going to put this right here, get the silk in my space. I want to hire and train the turner. You better believe it. So let's put this guy over here, and I go down to journeyman trainer. Very cool. And then my last one is chair. So I take my money, I put this here. I'm going to be able to put this here for my mahogany, my silk, and I will have a journeyman for both of these, which is just thrilling. So let's see if I can accomplish both of mine this turn, which I talked about, which is pretty exciting. 1, 2, 3. These folks are done. And we are now with Lewis doing his extra projects. These cost 2, but he is looking at needing a table. This table requires a mahogany and then a journeyman carver, which is very possible. This one is 2 walnut, but he has that mahogany. So you get the $1 here, and then I think he'll be able to upgrade to his carver to his journeyman by the time he needs to. And he gets the free $1, and now the second one. And this will give him a vignette once the table and chair have been completed. So what is his next move going to be? Does he want to take this free table right here for 2 walnut? Or does he want to take that chest, which is crazy hard to do? $27 or 18 victory points? It might be good in round 3 or 4 to get a big ol' 18-pointer on the track, just to kind of put some pressure on a fellow player. That's pretty cool. And it's a carver, joiner, and joiner journeyman, and he'll have to do the carver for that one anyway. So maybe he's working ahead to some really, really big moves. Those are his 2 free cards. Again, he didn't take one of these. And he'll bring his worker back. I get to go here first, and you better believe I want to do my upholder, because then I can do this card. So I'll send it over here for $4. I'll put my 10 in, I'll get 6 back, and I will train my upholder down to my journeyman. Very, very cool move. Again, I'm playing pretty bold here. I don't even have a joiner. And then Lewis wants to do his carver. He's going to come here for 2. He'll pay $2 from his pile of money. I mean, good grief. And then his carver goes up, because then he'll hopefully be able to do those guys at some point. All right, these are going to come back. We are clearing this round pretty fast, but I've been talking through all the reasons why I am doing these turns. Now, Walnut, he needs 1, 2, 3 walnut to accomplish the next 3 cards of his. And I think he can afford to get 3. So I'm going to send him to the 3 for $9. And that's all he needs right now, and it's a good price. So he's going to get 3 walnut. And he can't, oh, he can do this one. He can do 2 this turn. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, this is so good. We're both going to get 2 this turn. Okay, so that walnut is done. Now my silk. What do I need for silk? I don't need the silk right now, but I need the silk in the future. So I think I'm going to do the $7, and I'm going to grab 2. This is for future silk, future Kim silk. And that's it. We have our workers done, and now we're moving into production. And now Lewis is going to begin with production. So we have to double check. Can he accomplish both the table and the chair? He needs a journeyman carver, yes. And in this case, he needs a joiner and an upholder at apprentice level. He's fine. They can all accomplish 1, the apprentices can, and the journeyman can do 2 projects. So he's got 2 done, and he is going to take all these dots off, and we're going to take a look at these up close. So this chair is going to give him $21 or 14 points, and then the table is going to give him $16 or 11 points. And so I am going to have to figure out, does he want to start earning points? He's got $13. Let's say he gets the 21, just to make sure he has enough money to go into the next round. So he's got the 21. Okay. And then that is the chair. So he's going to have a chest and a chair. And the table is going to give him 11 points. Now he's on the board. He is really, really working, and he's put the pressure on me. And this is why start player matters. You will execute your production in that phase, because what players do with their money or their victory points might influence what you do with your money or your victory points. All right, I'm going to move that chest down. He has a vignette right now. And again, those vignettes are 10 points each. So he's already got the 10 points. And he's already got 2 journeymen. So he's going to have 6 points already. I've got 2 journeymen, so I've got the 6 points. Oh boy, very exciting. Okay, so now I complete my projects. This is the cool thing. This is where it starts getting interesting. I have a turner, journeyman, and a turner apprentice. So I've got my turner at journeyman, so I can accomplish 2 projects. 1, 2, and I have a journeyman for my upholder. So I am going to show you these guys. I'm going to drop off the resources, but I was able to accomplish both of them. And that is going to give me the choice of the money or the victory points for each. And I got to decide, where am I going to go and how am I keeping up with Lewis? Because this did not accomplish a vignette just yet, my table and my chair. I still need a chest. Meanwhile, the chests are really hard to do, and he's well on his way to getting all those chests. So do I want to meet his 11 victory points or exceed it and then only take $16, making it $26, being just a little bit behind him in money? I think I'm going to take the $16. There's the 16. And I put that here. And then I'm going to take the 16 victory points. I'm going to say, I see you, and I am now trying to beat you. All right, now that we are essentially done with that, We're moving into round 3. Start player is going to go back to me. We're going to take off the off limits round. We're going to grab that money. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to put the money out there. So now this chest has $2. This is our last round with these A cards. Lots of tables. Oh, good, a chest that I need. I need a chest. There's some more chests. This is really good. I have 3 chests to pick from. Fantastic. And then we are ready to jump into round 3. I have $26. He's got $34. I've got 2 silk. He's got 1 walnut. I don't have any projects in my player area, and he's got a chest that he's acquired. This is exciting. So now I want to move into my review of this because honestly, there's a lot to like here. I really appreciate how fast turns go because while you're thinking about your pawns and what you want to do, someone is going somewhere and you have your first pick. You need to have your second pick and your third pick ready to go. But when someone plays, you are just ready to put your figure down. And honestly, the play goes as fast as players are going to select. And the reason it takes a little bit of time during the planning phase or the queuing phase is because you're trying to figure out, can I do everything I want to do when we start executing everything? And so you've got your pawn out there, and I love the priority, the pecking order of these pawns going, I get first pick, this pawn gets second pick, this pawn gets third pick, and you have only a limited number of spaces to go in your 2, 3, or 4 player game, that it's just really, really streamlined and it's incredibly balanced. I think the best rule for the extra project space is that you can take something from the off-limits row when you couldn't have gone there before and you really have something that you want there and it got blocked off because it was the last remaining empty row without any pawns in it. And that's a really cool feature. It creates this pressure for next time because there's dollars on it and you want the dollars and the cards stay there, so you can either get it in extra projects by paying extra money or you just wait until next round and then you try to go there and activate that row so that it doesn't get blocked off again. And so it's just a really, really cool feature. I think that's dynamite. I love the priority in picking. I love that you can take any of these cards, whether you can complete them this round or not. There is something really cool, though, about your scoring. If you have incomplete projects at the end of the game, you took a project for a customer and you weren't able to finish it, guess what? -5 points. So don't take those projects if you don't think you can finish them by the end of the game. Now, you do get points for your leveling up, essentially, for your skill level of your carver, turner, joiner, and upholder. So not only does it require you to have a particular level and projects that they can complete in the round, it also gives you points at the end of the game. So it's like you're trying to do a couple things at once. You definitely want to get the vignettes, and there is a point in this game, kind of like Splendor. I always call it the Splendor effect, whenever you have to stop getting resources and you have to kick into high gear, gaining victory points. And that means that you are pushing hard to get the points in the game for your projects, your furniture, customer requests, as opposed to getting the money, because you are going to have enough money and resources at a certain point to balance really well with gaining resources. And even in the second round, both players, both Lewis and I, were able to get one of our 2 cards towards victory points and still feel like we had enough money going into next round to start gaining the resources to continue building. And so it's just really, really clever. It's really clean. I love that there are limited spaces because there are just 2 spaces for carver, joiner, turner, upholder to, essentially scale up. But there's another place to go. If you go second, it costs more. Everything just makes sense. It's all about getting the best bang for your buck. Now, the great thing about resources is you can only get resources once for your pawn, and you pay the cost. So if you pay for 1, it's the cheapest amount of money to pay for a resource. And if you pay for more resources, each resource you get of mahogany, for example, is more. It costs more. but you're having to pay for it out of money because you're getting one action pawn to get that particular thing. So your mahogany is $4 core price, but if you buy 4 of them, it's not $16, it's $22. And so the money just ramps up for the amount you get in a turn. And guess what? Maybe you're having a hard time getting resources or money or training your workers because you're getting blocked out of spaces. There are cards in the card spaces that say, grab some walnut, take a turner, get some silk, grab some money. And so there are cards that are built into this action space where your projects are, but there's also resources and money and training that happens in there. This is a clean game. And honestly, this is a perfect game in the sense that there is nothing I would do to change it. I can't think of a single thing that's not working. This works so well, and it's really easy to get into. I think the theme is perfect for what's going on here, but honestly, it's that worker placement. It's the queuing up, and it's just picking what you want to do with your turn. There's a lot of player interaction out here with that pecking order and getting what you want, but it's not so much that you don't feel like you can't do the things you want to do. And the extra project space is kind of the coolest space in the whole game. When you go there to get the dregs of what's left, I say dregs, it's just whatever's left that people didn't get that round, you get a chance to get something special. It costs you money, or you just pick up whatever's left and you just grab a couple cards. 2 cards for 1 pawn instead of 1 for 1 in the priority that you want. I like it. I like the pawns. I like the discs. I like the wooden pieces. I like the cards. I like the design. This is just a really, really, just, again, clever, clean game that I want to come back to, that I want to play with a 2-player, a 3-player, and a 4-player version. It just works. And it has just some dynamite mechanics with the open drafting, the worker placement. I love the action queue, and of course the set collection with your vignettes. Just a real dynamite game. I mean, sometimes I get these secret gems that come to my house, and then I just kind of get giddy because I'm like, I cannot wait to share this game with you. So check it out. Cabriole is the name of the game, and again, 2 to 4 player game that's about 60 to 90 minutes to play. That is going to be it for me, folks. I will see you later. Bye.